Imagine our planet, a fragile sphere in the vast cosmic ocean, spinning silently through darkness, its surface teeming with life, hopes, and dreams. From space, Earth glows with the lights of civilization, a testament to human ingenuity and progress. Yet, beneath this shimmering beauty, a profound challenge is unfolding. We are facing a crisis of our own making, one that threatens the very systems that sustain us. The air we breathe, the water we drink, and the climate that shapes our world are all under threat. For centuries, we've powered civilization by burning fossil fuels, coal, oil, and gas, fueling growth, but also changing the chemistry of our atmosphere, trapping heat, and warming the planet at an unprecedented rate. In late 2023, at COP28, nations from every corner of the globe gathered and made a historic promise to begin transitioning away from fossil fuels. This was a moment of rare unity, a recognition that the status quo could not continue. This was more than symbolism. It was a formal acknowledgement that our energy habits threaten the delicate balance of life on Earth. The impacts are already visible: melting ice, vanishing species, and communities struggling to adapt. Countries pledged to triple renewable energy by 2030 and double energy efficiency, setting ambitious targets to accelerate the shift to cleaner, greener power sources. These commitments mean investing in new technologies, reimagining our cities, and transforming how we move, work, and live. The energy sector is the largest source of carbon emissions. 3/4 come from coal, oil, and gas. Changing this reality is essential if we hope to stabilize our climate. Solving climate change means transforming how we power our world, from the grid beneath our feet to the innovations that will shape tomorrow. The 2023 agreement was the starting pistol for a race to reinvent our energy systems, a race that will test our resolve, creativity, and cooperation. It was a promise to future generations, a vow to protect their right to a stable climate and a thriving planet. But making a vow is only the beginning. Action must follow words. The path ahead is complex, filled with obstacles, powerful interests, and difficult choices. Change will not come easily, and setbacks are inevitable. The journey to a new energy future will demand unprecedented cooperation, relentless innovation, and the courage to challenge old ways of thinking. The 2023 agreement marked not an end, but the beginning of a global struggle that will define our century, a test of our collective will to safeguard the only home we have. After the 2023 promise, the world saw a surge in renewable energy. Governments and corporations alike raced to meet ambitious climate targets, launching massive projects at an unprecedented pace. By 2025, over 90% of new power plants were renewable: solar, wind, and water. Cities and rural areas alike witnessed the rapid rise of clean energy infrastructure, transforming skylines and landscapes. Investment poured in from every direction, and by 2025, renewables attracted twice as much funding as fossil fuels. Venture capitalists, pension funds, and even oil giants shifted their portfolios, betting big on green technology. The financial world was betting on a clean energy future. Stock markets buzzed with excitement as green companies soared in value, and analysts predicted a new era of sustainable growth. Yet the story wasn't one-sided. While renewables surged, fossil fuels refused to fade quietly into history. Fossil fuel projects, especially liquefied natural gas, LNG, also expanded rapidly. New pipelines and export terminals sprang up across continents, fueling global demand. The International Energy Agency warned of a 50% increase in global LNG supply by 2030, much of it from the US. This expansion threatened to lock in decades of emissions, even as the world pledged to cut them. The world was building clean energy at record speed, but also doubling down on fossil fuels. In many regions, wind turbines rose beside oil rigs, symbolizing a world caught between two futures. It was a paradox, accelerating toward the future while clinging to the past. The energy landscape became a battleground of innovation and inertia. This fundamental conflict set the stage for a global confrontation. Leaders debated, industries lobbied, and societies faced tough choices about their energy destiny. The world was moving in two directions at once. A collision seemed inevitable, as old and new energy systems vied for dominance. The energy transition would not be a simple, linear journey. Instead, it would be a complex, winding road, full of challenges, opportunities, and difficult decisions for every nation on Earth. To truly understand the global energy battle, we first need to identify the key players, beginning with the Petro-States, whose influence stretches far beyond their borders. Petro-States are countries whose economies, governments, and even social structures are deeply intertwined with fossil fuel production and export. Their national identity and prosperity are often built on oil and gas. Oil and gas revenues fund everything from schools and hospitals to massive infrastructure projects and military spending. When oil prices soar, their budgets swell. When prices crash, entire economies can teeter on the brink. Take Nigeria, for example. Oil accounts for up to 90% of government revenue, making it both a source of immense national wealth and a point of acute vulnerability. A single fluctuation in global oil prices can ripple through every layer of society. For Petro-States, the global shift toward renewable energy isn't just a policy challenge, it's an existential threat that could upend their entire way of life and economic stability. To protect their interests, these nations often band together in powerful alliances like OPEC or the Arab Group, working collectively to influence global energy markets and slow the transition away from fossil fuels. Their reach is global. Through economic leverage, strategic alliances, and diplomatic negotiations, Petro-States wield significant power to shape international policies and protect their energy interests. Even the United States, as the world's top oil and gas producer, sometimes acts as a Petro-State, balancing its energy dominance with the pressures of a changing world. Petro-States embody the inertia of the old energy system, often resisting rapid change and clinging to the status quo, even as the world pushes for cleaner alternatives. Their actions are driven by a desire for self-preservation, not necessarily out of malice or ill intent, but from a need to protect their people and economies. The struggle between old and new energy is a high-stakes contest, one that's as much about survival and adaptation as it is about progress and innovation. On the other side, electro-states are rising, nations betting on a clean energy future. They see opportunity, not threat, in the transition to renewables. The European Union, for example, aims for over 42% renewable energy by 2030, backed by binding laws and carbon pricing. Electro-states are emerging worldwide. Kenya leads in geothermal, Australia pivots from coal to solar and hydrogen. These countries invest in technology, infrastructure, and skills for a renewable-powered society. Their vision is energy independence and technological leadership. By building economies around clean electricity, they reduce reliance on volatile fossil fuel markets. They create new jobs in high-tech industries and smart grids. Electro-states are redesigning their economies for a new era. They hope to lead a prosperous, electrified world. Tensions peaked in late 2025 at COP30 in Belém, Brazil. The summit's central issue, how to turn the 2023 promise into a concrete plan. Brazil's President Lula proposed a global roadmap for the energy transition, a practical guide for all nations. Over 80 countries, from island nations to rising electro-states, supported the idea. Even Australia, both a fossil fuel producer and renewable leader, joined the coalition. But the Arab group of oil and gas producers fiercely opposed it, fearing economic destabilization. They argued a rigid plan ignored national differences and threatened their economies. Their diplomatic power prevailed. Any mention of the roadmap was stripped from the final agreement. The world left Belém without a guide. The divide between Petro-States and electro-states had never been clearer. The path forward remained uncertain. The failure at COP30 was a setback, but not the end. COP30 President André Correa do Lago launched the Belém Roadmap Initiative in 2026. He convened high-level meetings outside the formal UN process, aiming to break the deadlock. The initiative had two goals: halt global deforestation and chart the energy transition. Leaders from Petro-States, electro-states, energy companies, and financial institutions were brought together. The focus honest dialogue about real-world challenges, beyond political posturing. The process addressed both supply, managing fossil fuel decline, and demand, accelerating clean energy adoption. Equity was central. How to support economies and workers dependent on fossil fuels. Correa do Lago promised to report progress at COP31, offering a second chance for unity. The world watched, hoping for a breakthrough. The global energy conflict plays out within nations, not just between them. Nigeria is a classic petro-state dependent on oil, yet 39% of its people lack electricity. Its untapped solar, hydro and wind resources could power a new future, if it can shift away from oil. Brazil, a major oil producer, approved new drilling near the Amazon, yet its president champions the energy transition. Brazil is exploring using oil revenues to fund clean energy. Norway, wealthy from oil and gas, is planning its own transition. A national commission is tasked with finding new growth and jobs beyond fossil fuels. These stories show the line between Petro-State and Electro-State is often blurred. The transition is complex, requiring political will and innovation. Each nation's journey is unique, but the stakes are global. The challenge is to move forward without leaving anyone behind. In 2026, the energy showdown intensifies. The Belém Roadmap initiative's progress will reveal whether cooperation is possible. Can Petro-States and Electro-States find common ground in informal talks? The year's climax will be COP31 in Turkey, with Australia as lead negotiator. Australia's dual identity, as fossil fuel exporter and roadmap supporter, puts the transition at center stage. COP31 will test if trust and understanding can yield a formal global plan. The positions of the US, Arab group and other key players will be decisive. 2026 is a year of high-stakes diplomacy, not quiet waiting. The debate is no longer if, but how and when, the world will transition. The outcome will shape the future of energy, climate, and global cooperation. This isn't just a political contest, it will shape every life on Earth. A faster, coordinated transition means cleaner air, a stable climate, and new jobs. It could lower energy costs and reduce extreme weather. A slow, chaotic transition risks more emissions, climate disasters, and economic instability. Countries that fail to adapt may be left behind as the world moves on. The choice is between a planned, cooperative future and one left to chance and conflict. The Belém Roadmap and COP31 are about designing the operating system for our civilization. The outcome will determine if we build a sustainable, equitable world. This is a battle for our only home, a story we're all writing together.